Hopefully this time is going to work. It's my last time I'm doing this. This is a message to Cameron Bertuzi and Alison Childers, the evangelical Christians on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, they're probably not going to watch this because nobody knows who I am. I don't have any subscribers, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, Christianity is a joke. I explained it in my other video, but I'll explain it a bit more in this video as well. And what Cameron Bertuzi and Alison needs to understand is that there is nothing really truthful about this religion. Okay, there's no way Jesus was God. The only truth is that he did exist and he was crucified for high treason, not for dying for people's sins. He was crucified for high treason. Jesus was a criminal. That is why he was crucified. He committed sedition, he committed high treason. And just don't take my word for it. This is a historical fact. It's not just an opinion that he was crucified for high treason, for being a criminal, not for dying for people's sins. It wasn't the Jews' fault. It wasn't Pontius Pilate's fault. It was Jesus' fault. He had no reason to attack the temple. They were allowed to sell animals in the courtyard. They were allowed to do the money changing. He had no reason to to behave like that. The way he behaved was in an uncivilized manner. He should not have behaved like that. He did not need to do any of those things. It was unacceptable. It was unacceptable for Jesus to do those things. He should not have attacked the temple. Under any circumstances, he should not have behaved like that at all. He behaved in an uncivilized manner. He basically behaved like an animal. He just went crazy. And Bartman talks about in his book that Jesus had no reason to attack the temple, to commit sedition. He had no reason to do it. He had no reason. He was just behaving like an animal. And all the things in the Bible are not true. The virgin birth did not happen. That is not a historical fact. The resurrection definitely didn't happen. I mean, the resurrection is the biggest lie in history. There is no way the resurrection happened, and there's no historian with a brain who's actually going to say, yes, the virgin birth and the resurrection happened. There was no empty tomb. And the fact that Mary Magdalene was the first one to witness the resurrection shows you there's something sneaky going on. The Bible also comes up with a crazy number of like 500 people witnessed the resurrection. I mean, this is just madness. There's no proof that 500 people witnessed the resurrection. Nobody witnessed the resurrection, let alone 500. It's just crazy stuff going on. There's also a passage in the Bible where Jesus reads from the book of Isaiah. There is no way Jesus could read from the book of Isaiah. The guy was an illiterate peasant. He was a tramp. There's no way he could read from the book of Isaiah. And like he had some synagogue or temple right next door to where he lived. There was no synagogue or temples where he lived. And this has been debunked by Rez Rastan, who did a book about Jesus. He explains that there's no way that there was any temple nearby, and Jesus was a complete illiterate tramp. He had no knowledge. The guy could not read or write, even in his own language, which is Aramaic. This has all been debunked by historians, whether it's Reza or Bard Ehrman. But of course, the Christians are going to say Reza or Bard Ehrman are not reputable scholars because they're not Christian. To be a reputable scholar, you have to be a Christian. And Bard's an agnostic, and obviously Reza Aslan is a Muslim. So they keep coming up with stupid excuses. It's the same nonsense over and over again. They can't answer these big questions. Let me give you another big question. This is a big question for Cameron Bertuzi and Alison Childers. Why would God create his own enemy? Why would God create his competition? Why would God create the devil? It doesn't make sense. And why didn't God just kill the devil? And how could the devil just become like he was an angel, and then an angel became the devil? This is what Christians believe, that somehow the angel was not really a devil. It was an angel, and then the angel got too confident and went a bit crazy and turned into the devil. That's stupid. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure God would have realized that was going to happen because God knows everything, right? He would have known that an angel was going to turn into the devil. See, none of this makes sense. There's no proof for it. It's easy ways to debunk religion and God on those perspectives. If there was a God, we wouldn't have created the devil. That would be stupid. Because why would God want to create competition? And by the way, we don't need the devil for human beings to sin. Human beings have always sinned. And the excuse that, actually sin came from Adam and Eve by disobeying God in the Garden of Eden, this is something else Christians have lost again. There is no proof that Adam and Eve existed. Adam and Eve did not exist. So we can't say the sin came from Adam and Eve. First, we have to establish whether Adam and Eve even existed. And there is no proof that Adam and Eve existed. There's no proof that Moses existed or Abraham. See, this is what Christians don't understand, because they're not looking into it. They don't have knowledge. They haven't looked into whether Adam and Eve existed or Abraham or Moses. They haven't thought to themselves, how can God create the devil? That doesn't make sense. Why would God want to create his own enemy? And how could an angel turn into the devil? It's just stupid. And they've heard of well, I know Cameron has. He's heard of rationality rules. Stephen Woodford's YouTube channel. In that he explains that you can actually debunk the existence of God. You can, and he uses a Greek philosopher, Copernicus. I don't know, Kerberos. I don't know. Was it Copernicus or some other Greek philosopher? And he explains how you can debunk God, because that it doesn't make sense how there could be a God. Because if there is evil going on and God is not stepping in, that means God Himself is evil. And if he knows, if he knows there's evil and he still doesn't want to step in and he's not doing anything about it, then it just disproves the existence of God. It also disproves the existence of evil, but yet evil does exist. So it doesn't actually, well, it doesn't disprove the existence of evil does exist. But the point is, if there is a God and he's not doing anything about it, he knows there's evil going on, he's not doing anything about it, he's not doing anything, and maybe he doesn't exist. Maybe the fact that he's not doing nothing, he's just sitting up there. Just sitting there and watching everything. It's just madness. There is no way. I don't believe in the idea that if there was a God, he would be evil or malevolent. And he knows there's evil going on, but he just can't be bothered to step in. He's got too much on his plate. Oh, wait, here's an idea. We're going to wait until he comes back. Then maybe he'll sort everything out. In the day of judgment, he's going to sort everything out. The day of judgment is never going to happen. Jesus is never going to come back. And this is my advice to Cameron and Alison Childers. The only way you can be right is if Jesus comes back. There's no way Jesus is coming back. There's no way. All right? There is no way. And that's the only way you're going to be right. And because Jesus is never going to come back, us atheists like myself, we're going to be right forever. I'll be right long after I'm dead. Even in 2060, long after I'm dead. Even in the year 3000, Jesus still won't come back. Look, Jesus ain't never coming back, and that's what it comes down to fundamentally. But the sad reality is that there's no point of debating with Christians or Muslims because they're not going to understand. They can't accept that they're wrong. It doesn't matter how much evidence you go through, and if you go through their own Bible and if you show them the lies, even in their own Bible, they're still not going to understand. It's a waste of time debating with Christians and Muslims. It's too late. They're never going to change, and they're stuck in their ways, and they're completely brainwashed. And the sad reality is that Jesus is the one who's let them down, not me. They're not going to get what they want. Jesus is not coming back. There is no heaven or hell. We've got one life, we try our best, we try to be happy, and then we die. That's what life is. They're not going to get what they want. They're wasting their time. And Christianity is a joke. It really is. Thank you. Bye-bye.